exploring cultural landscape on old railway tracks. So last year I talked about the possibilities of use of abandoned railways, and we have such possibilities like doing nothing or cut the tracks in parts, but I argued that it's much better to open it for tourism, like the dry scenes or heritage railways, or just as a public footpath or bicycle path, and also to increase the visibility of the railway heritage, like milestones, bridges, and so on. So my perspective is the cultural landscape, and I have a scheme in my PhD study. It's of course in German. I tried to translate it, but it was not possible for me, so I hope you'll help me. We start here with the Zugänglichkeit. I think it's just accessibility, but it means not only that I can go there, but I have the intellectual accessibility. So when I see a windmill,
openness.
Something like openness, yeah. When I see a windmill, I know that it is a windmill, and I say, oh, this is a windmill, and I have some more thinkings about. So the accessibility awaits interested in something like Inszenierung in Germany. I said enactment, so that the parts must be put in public scenery to increase the visibility. And this increase the Erlebbarkeit, to have an event, to have a leisure there, and to use it. This requires, again, accessibility and so on. So it's a circle of determining things. And we talked about different kinds of railways, light railways, branch lines, and main lines. And I've researched in the northern parts of Germany with a very flat landscape. But even after abandonment, there is a lot of morphologic characteristics seen in the landscape. So even on light railways in rural northern German countries, you have more than 50% or just about 50% left as embankments, cutting, and so on.
What do you mean by cutting?
Cutting, it's
valley.
Yeah.
Three shades.
So these are all parts of cultural landscapes. We have remains of overbridge profile on a railway embankment, just for example, station buildings of a light railway in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern, and we have a lot of so-called wasteland. But if we can see here on this picture, there's some remains of the usage as a railway. Here is a milestone, and we have some signal remains there, and remains of the sleepers. Yeah, I was thinking about tourism and remains of the railway heritage, and I've presented you last year the possibilities of so-called dry scenes, muscle-powered rail vehicles, and I showed you one track nearby Hamburg at the former inner German border in Schleswig-Holstein, so the northern part of Germany, and these companies have a staff of 12 full-time workers and have about 50,000 customers a year, spending just at least 1 million euro each year. So one of the most attractive tourist attraction of this Dreising track is the so-called Drei-Gleise-Reise. I translated it with three-way trip. So if you can see here on the map, the yellow line is the former main line to between Kiel and Berlin, and this part of the yellow line is nowadays used for this special attraction. And the white line coming up here is still in service, so it's a member of the Hamburgian traffic corporation, so you can go there by one ticket from Hamburg to there, and also from Lübeck to there in a regal timetable. And this company organized the so-called Drei-Gleise-Reise, and as you can see on the map, there was an abandoned light railway. We can see just some parts in the landscape on this map, and if you know that there was a light railway, you can see it here. I want to show you now the route of the Drei-Gleise-Reise, and it starts at the old station building of Ratzeburg. It was built in the 1850s, one of the first periods of German mainline trains, and the main line between Kiel and Berlin was built in the 1890s. The tracks have built here in front of the station building, and on the other side the line to between Lübeck and Büchen is still situated. So there are the last remains of the platform of the former main line, and there is today an old railway wagon. You can hire bicycles. And this was an excursion I've done with my students, just testing this Drei-Gleise-Reise. We're here on the old light railway, the so-called Ratzeburger Kleinbahn, and here in the background you can see the old station building located in the city of Ratzeburg. And if you don't know that it is an old station building, you can't see it because there is no explanation and so on. The same is on the way, the bicycle path. If you don't know, you can't see anything. But there's still some remains, like this heritage old overpass, that might make questions by the tourists, so that they may ask themselves, why is there an overpass on my bicycle way? After coming to this overpass, you can hire a boat on the Ratzeburg Lake. There are tours with canoes or with dragon boats, and you come to this old water mill, the end of the boat rafting, and there you can hire this one. It's so-called 16 bike, a bike where can sit 6 people around on a table, seeing each other, and then they go the last step to the Smilau station. On the way to the station, former station, you can see another cultural heritage, the so-called Schalsee Channel, built in the 1920s to power the only water mill in northern Germany. This is also a present of this channel. The railway, the Ratzeburg Kleinbahn, have here its old port to transport sugar beans from this channel to the railway network. And then you arrive Schmielau station. You can take this Dreising going back to Ratzeburg station to the first point, enjoying this tour. It's an action-orientated thing, but you can also explore the cultural landscape with bridge and milestones. And the end of your tour, you can have a barbecue, and you can see it is also railway related. So it's it's a train from Russia, so it's not originally located there in Schmielau, but you can use it as a barbecue grill. And you're also able to hire these old wagons, former railway worker wagons, for conferences, for party, or just as sleeping wagons. And there are also, and you can see, it's not only art, but it takes. You can hire it and sleep inside it. This thing called the exploding train, because in the Second World War there was a freight train loaded with FozTua weapons, and it was exploded there, and so it's a remain of this historical accident. And in my opinion, it shows that history in the landscape can provoke questions. So the people come at this station and ask, why is there this train? And then they get, they need more information. So in my slideshow, picture show, I want to step over to here, to the Thua Valley, and our railway here, and I want to say that there's much potential to increase the tourism in this region, while increasing the cultural landscape and the remains of the historical railway parts. So last year we walked such a step on this old railway, and I have my GPS with me, and you can see how it works in cultural landscape research. We go on these old tracks and have our GPS with us and can take point of interest there. And you can see here is a little bit
Trellian Station, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's Trellian Station.
And you're correct. It's
yeah. So, which is a very unusual station, completely different from all the others.
Yeah. So this is a part of the cultural landscape, and you can use it for tourists, such as a relaxing station or a cottage where they can sleep or something like this, refresh themselves. And we have the possibility to connect use the railway as a connection point. So this is São Lourenço.
Yes, São Lourenço. Yeah.
And you can see you can go there by car. You also can use this building for tourists and invite them to visit São Lourenço and have there more cultural landscape and a new possibility to visit it. And also, I must say, the station building here in FozTua is very important, and it's a treasure. It's of cultural landscape. So I hope that we have in 5 years or something like that, we can see here a museum and can visit it and have the accessibility to use these old tracks to have a new experience in this exciting cultural landscape. So, thank you very much.